the first panel is basically about the DeFi Renaissance, and we have just a beautiful panelists which basically representing different parts of DeFi. So we have a Sergej Kunz, who is a co-founder of OneInch. We're basically, nice. So we basically have Pierre, who now is on the basically Web3 Bitpanda centralized exchange, but they're building now DeFi. So it's a good sign for us to make DeFi Renaissance happen finally. So, yeah. So we have a Derek from Wallet Connect, but also Rion. Please, big applause for Derek. We have GF Rocher from Ledger. Please, big applause for him. Ernest from Kiln and Easter from Crypto.com. Great. So guys, as far as you're representing different types of DeFi, I would like to give a word to you and basically tell what are you building in DeFi. So short word. Guys, it's a very noisy here. Hello! I'm here, sorry, but please be respectful. There is a speaker who wants to share with you. And they really, if you want to understand when the bull market comes, I would like to hear, because it will be random. So basically, Sergey was said like November, and then that's it. So come here.
There are lots of seats, free seats at the front. There's better aircon here as well at the front.
So, hi everyone. Also everyone on the back. Hello. Thank you. So, my name is Sergej Kunz. I'm co-founder of OneInch. Anton is running here also around. I think you can catch them maybe and ask them questions if you want. And yeah, my background is software engineer, software architect. Yeah, we have built with Anton the first prototype on a hackathon. So we are people who were traveling around the globe building things on different things on hackathons, and one of these things was OneInch. And we are very, very happy to be in this situation right now with a huge amount of contributors and great community around us. Thank you.
Hi everyone, so my name is Pierre. I'm now leading the Web3 at Bitpanda. Some of you might know me when I was leading the BD at Trust Wallet for a couple of years. So very glad to be here today to talk about how Bitpanda is moving on Web3 now.
Yeah, Derek, you go first.
Hey folks, thanks for joining. My name is Derek. I'm the CTO at Rion, formerly known as Wallet Connect. Who here has heard about Wallet Connect? Pierre. Yeah, and what's our role in DeFi? What's Wallet Connect's role in DeFi? So basically for apps like OneInch, we provide liquidity, access to as much capital as possible. And I think now is a really interesting time because all the institutions are coming online, and the way how institutions access DeFi is via Wallet Connect. So last week we announced that BitGo, and I think they have 100 billion assets under management. They just launched their Wallet Connect integration. Then Ledger Enterprise also has a Wallet Connect integration and a lot of assets under management. So I think it's really interesting, a really interesting time with all the serious money coming online and getting access to DeFi.
Hello, I'm Jeff. So I work at Ledger, and at Ledger I'm in charge of the application. So Ledger Live, the kind of wallet app, and the services that are inside. So very happy to be here and looking forward to the discussion.
Hi everyone, I'm Ernest. I'm co-founder and CPO at Kiln. So we are a yield company, primarily staking, but also DeFi yield aggregation. We run validators on all major chains with about $13 billion of stake under management, and very happy to be here with some customers as well at Kiln, so Crypto.com, Ledger, and Bitpanda. So thanks. Yeah, great to be here.
Thanks. Yeah. Esther, please. Yeah, hi everyone. So I'm Esther from Crypto.com. I have been with them for more than 6 years now. And at Crypto.com, I'm the SVP. I lead both the card and also the on-chain wallet. So yeah, so I'm hoping to share with you what we're building on both, the cards and also the wallet side. Yeah, happy to be here.
Great. Guys, now the question to you. Who knows what DeFi is? Okay, beautiful. So then you knows what the basically self-custody is, the difference from centralized and decentralized exchange, so we don't need to basically dive deeper. Then the question to you guys, for this beautiful, familiar to DeFi audience, what do you think is the most underrated feature that we are either missing or do not pay attention right now in DeFi? So what are your thoughts on that part?
I don't particularly work in DeFi, but one thing that I find very interesting is announcements like yesterday from Robinhood with stocks coming online. So I don't know the number of how much money, but I assume it's trillions that are stored in stock. Obviously, DeFi and crypto is a way better way of managing such assets. So I'm really excited for stocks coming to platforms like 1inch soon, and myself being able to hold. I mean, once it's on chain, then it's going to be available, no?
It's
At least it's controversial.
It's
so.
a security, so we need to deal with this somehow first. How the regulators will see it. So it's a secondary market, yeah, and I think we need to introduce KYC and KYB if you start to offer securities on 1inch.
But if someone else issues it, is that the same thing?
Yes. Some people are very risky, some of them less. So I see it like who is not risking is not sitting in prison.
Understood. So basically, you could only trade the stocks on a KYC chain, then basically, or I mean, we can take this offline.
Yes.
Honestly, I don't know what I'm talking about.
It looks like we need to. It's not Robinhood only launched the stocks on chain. There's another one, right? Xstocks.
Xstock?
On Solana, the release recently. I have seen yesterday. So and Jupiter wrote, now you can buy and sell securities on Jupiter aggregator, and I'm like, fuck, I don't know where they hide themselves in the world, but it's security, and you need to do KYC, KYB, you need broker dealer license, and more.
What you're excited about? What are you excited about then?
I'm excited to watch. I bought some popcorn, and we'll see how it's gonna rock. It shows that the adoption started, and my bet is in the next 5 years we will see securities fully traded across all the blockchains, and but we need somehow to find a solution with the regulators.
And on this, I would like to actually add, because of the news, what happened with Xstock and Jupiter, I had to wake up early today because we have a wallet, and when I saw the news, I'm like, oh my god, I need to enable it in the wallet. And this is what we did. So right now, for the Crypto.com on-chain wallet, we actually have the homepage, where you have like trending lists. We actually now have a category called stocks, and people can then just easily swap into the tokenized securities in a wallet. So I feel like this story also gives us the impression that you have to work really fast in a DeFi world, otherwise you're not trending anymore. So yeah, this is something that I learned, but very interesting. If I have more user data, I can maybe share more, but it's just been one day.
Yeah, I agree with what has been said. I think if you go just a little bit in the back, the stocks are already, or the equity, RWA, they are available for kind of a couple of months, even years now on chain. I think what makes some noises yesterday, it's because for the very first time, they have a huge distribution channel with Robinhood using its own user base and its own firepower to distribute basically on-chain stocks. So I think this is where for the first time we have a big change. It's we move from manufacturing stage where people were building product to more distribution period where now we can have big players starting to distribute on-chain services to retail users. So, and that's for what Esther said about Crypto.com, who immediately enabled the same. So basically the stocks or the on-chain securities or tokenized securities were already available. It's now just available for the mass market through a distribution channel, basically.
Maybe I can add another example of a tokenized asset that's gone on chain fairly recently that I think is very exciting is Apollo, which is a $500 billion asset manager in the US. They've tokenized a private credit fund, so corporate bonds on chains called ACRED, and they've enabled a Morpho pool, so you can deposit ACRED to borrow USDC. Still early days, but I think this shows, it's always a meme in the industry, like, are the institutions coming, are the institutions here? Well, this is a pretty big institution that is tokenizing a private credit fund today on a public blockchain, and that's pretty new, like, that's from this year. I think the other similar examples are like Ondo with Biddle, tokenized treasuries, and Wisdom Tree as well have a fund on chain. So that's pretty, I think that's pretty exciting.
Yes. GF, do you want to add something?
On stocks, not particularly.
Yeah, but just in general on the features that are underrated. Yeah.
No, but in general, if we can take 1 minute to go back to the title of the presentation. I think this is the most important discussion of all of EthCC. Because to me, crypto is wallet powered. That's the use case. You have a wallet, you connect your wallet. Hopefully your wallet is safe, is backed by good level of security, ideally hardware. You connect, lights on, and something happens. And we tend to forget this because there is a form of inflow of money, of financialization that is very beneficial for everyone. Everyone's speculating on the future for crypto. But the future for crypto is there is a future beyond private blockchain infrastructure and stuff that I love, and it's very nice what Robinhood is doing, but it's not crypto. It's blockchain so far. May connect to crypto, but it's blockchain. So the reality is that what we are doing here is a future that is wallet powered. And so you have wallets, you have protocols, you have experiences. They can be centralized, decentralized, and you connect to that. And that's the bet that everybody's making. Even investors that are investing on centralized exchange are betting for such a future for crypto. So the question is, how do we make that happen? And the second point for me is the question of renaissance. You say, I hear sometimes people saying, DeFi was things, less things, it's not as big as CeFi. I have the chance to have, I was thinking I have a gray beard, but actually I have a white beard, so a bit the Dumbledore of this audience. And I started my career in tech when it started. I can tell you a simple story. In 2001, there were tech magazines whose head title was Looking Back at the Internet Years. Because the bubble burst in 2000, so people are thinking it's over. Internet is done. It's over. It's the past. So if we think about DeFi like something that got smaller, that is in a smaller, we should be here in the main room, and the rest should be here. So we are building this future for crypto that everybody's betting on. So if wallets are wallets, they connect well. If protocols, applications, services that are built on wallet are performing something great, securely, probably with a form of identity, probably augmented with a different type of services, I think we are building what everybody wants. So we are in the right place, and it's super cool to do that with, indeed, a full ecosystem that believes in what is wallet powered.
Yeah, super cool. And, as far as you are guys presenting different parts of DeFi, maybe each of you can comment on what you think or brainstorm on what basically, DeFi aggregation swap solutions has to improve to basically make the mass adoption happen. Maybe Pierre can think on how to bring more centralized exchanges into Web3, not just example of Bitpanda. Derek can brainstorm on basically infrastructure and how we can make the institutions to start using this one entry point through WalletKit and Rio. Ledger already doing the really good job on basically making this mass adoption happen. Kiel maybe can basically comment on how we can do this liquid staking like for my grandma, possible for my grandma. And we all can basically do all these executions through crypto.com, maybe what wallet has to improve. So let's just brainstorm and share our thoughts. And you guys maybe can think about the thoughts of our speakers and maybe give a feedback or ask suggest some other things that you are missing right now to make DeFi happen again. So Sergej, maybe we can start from the swap.
So in general, I think the user experience should be that far that people don't really recognize on what blockchain they interact. Like the same centralized exchange feeling what they have right now. But with two things: atomic execution and non-custody, and then non-custody, so self-custody. So I don't want to trust a centralized entity, all my funds, what I'm gamble in this space. Yeah, it's possible. Technology is there, so we have already good adoption of, for example, on 1inch on the cross-chain swap side. People don't even do any transactions. They only need a proof or permit. And then for swap itself, you don't need a transaction. You just sign an aura, what you share with the market makers, arbitrage traders, with the network. And the settlement and everything, all the magic happens under the hood, and the protocol just ensures that you get what you expect, and maybe more as well. So, yeah, this is the way, from our point of view, to unify all the different blockchains. What actually centralized exchange is doing, it combines all together, but you need to trust them, and the trust you can replace with protocols, program. Yeah.
About the adoption, I think everyone would agree about the end game is to have the mass market adoption for DeFi and crypto. I think for that, it's more about how we are considering adoption on a lower level. This means maybe 2 years ago, the user experience and the distribution for DeFi was just basically good enough for the degen and the people who really wanted to invest time in crypto to understand how to use it, how to set up a wallet, how to use Wallet Connect, and finally to find the right DApp. So this process was maybe just good for degen and people who wanted to invest time inside this ecosystem. Now, in terms of adoption today, it seems everybody is moving on the native integration side, where when you're building a product, you want to have the full experience and to own the experience about natively integrated the different solutions. So if we look back about the wallet industries in the past, everything started with the swap, which was the first transactional operation the user wanted to own inside the wallet without having to go on the app. Then you had the yield who come after that. And now we are talking about RWA and all the other assets we can find on chain. So for me, the adoption is more how we can solve the small pain points in every area of DeFi to then make them compatible with the mass market who don't want to spend that much time, who don't care about blockchain, who don't care about crypto, just to sell them basically the benefits of the crypto without the complexity. So as at Bitpanda, what we are working on is how we can abstract all this complexity to remove all these kind of annoying feeling about, oh, crypto is complex or blockchain is not something smooth, to make it as a Web2 experience, basically. So that's, for me, where the key challenge is on the centralized world.
I know I'm preaching to the choir here, so this is not a controversial statement, but I think I recently onboarded a few people onto crypto, and who, like, I onboarded my mom onto crypto. Many people have the story, but I wouldn't have done this just a couple months ago because I onboarded my mom onto an app that onto a wallet that abstracts gas. And for me personally, gas is still such a buzzkill. So personally, and recently, I had been using more Solana because in Ethereum, there's just no the day-to-day wallets, at least, didn't have that experience. An Ethereum safe wallet, sort of an institutional wallet, has gas abstraction L2s for a long time. But yeah, on Ethereum, over the next 2 years, I think a large chunk of wallets will abolish gas, basically. So the end user will not have to learn what gas is anymore. And it's a really big deal. And then another thing that I think is a big deal, where I can shoulder tap on my own shoulder, is the 5792 batching standard that 1inch has already adopted for some wallets. And yeah, I'm a co-author of that standard. And it's also a really big deal because there's no approve and then swap anymore when you use 1inch, for instance. And currently only for safe wallets, soon for all wallets. And it's a really big deal, especially also as we bring institutions online, because we, at Wallet Connect, we have a treasury, obviously, and also at Reon we have a treasury, and our operations people hate the approve and then swap. So I think that's a really big deal. So yeah, I'll stop there. I think just seeing the EIP 5792 and EIP 7702 batch and gas abstraction standards being adopted are really big deals over the next 2 years.
Mass adoption starts with a basic, which is if you put your money in a wallet, if it's not safe, it's not a wallet, it's a leaky purse. You put money falls on the floor, tons of stories. So, sorry, not sorry, the only way to be safe is to have a trusted display and a hardware device. So it seems like a complexity, but this is a solution for mass adoption, because if everybody gets into trouble, that easily, as it is the case today, won't work. So that's the basics. Then you want, like everybody, on centralized, decentralized, to grow your value by trading, grow your value by staking, earning, yielding, the same. And then you move to the next stage, which is you want to connect to more and more experiences. So connectivity, very important. And ultimately, a wallet, why do you use a wallet in everyday life? Is to move money. So the inflow, outflow, the payment is very important. But that doesn't stop just to stable coins. Because stable coins is just a closed loop environment. That's great for B2B and infrastructure, but you don't get into payments. You get really into payments when you bridge with fiat. So you have fiat in, to stable, to the wallet, out to stable, to fiat again. And then progressively stable will expand. But the interoperability between the economic inflow, outflow that people have today with fiat is absolutely essential. And with that, you start to sketch the portrait of a wallet. And if you have a wallet that is universally connected to tons of stuff, if you add a bit of maybe identity, if you want to do things that are not fully collateralized, if you add a bit of other ways to augment with token, you get it. That's, to me, that's the future of crypto. So that's what we are discussing today. And everybody around the table. And by the way, look at the people who come more from centralized exchanges. They put their best people at doing a wallet. So it's not a side dish for them. It's the future, and they know it.
The angle that we're really working on is DeFi yield aggregation. Yes. So the thing we see that is a barrier to adoption is it's too hard to earn yield on stablecoins today. Even, I think, in this room, probably no one wants to sit here and rebalance positions across protocols, across chains, across assets. We want to be the embedded savings account. So wherever there are stable coins or assets held, it should be easy to earn yield on them. Because otherwise, your assets are inflated away just by inflation, and Circle and Tether keep the yield, and that's not great for anyone. So this is very exciting because stable coins are becoming kind of one of the killer use cases of crypto. There's $250 billion plus of stable coins in new markets as well. Like a lot of it is in emerging markets that get into crypto through that. Like, for example, a merchant on Shopify or Stripe starts earning stablecoin balances in Vietnam, and they keep it in stablecoins because they want exposure to the dollar. The next step is they want to start earning yield, and over time, this is a banking service for them. And it's particularly apt that it's in regions that do not have good banking sectors. So that's super exciting, and I think that's part of what's going to bring a lot of people into crypto.
So, Esther, do you want to add something on the wallet side? How can we improve?
Yeah. I think on wallet side,
right,
or even on the centralized exchange side, the question that we ask ourselves every day is how do we get mass adoption, right? I think a lot of the panelists has already commented on making yield earning simple, onboarding users with gasless transactions. So I'm not going to pile on. I think you guys all made extremely valid points. But I do want to share something that we launched, something that we find interesting. So I'm just going to ask the room, how many of you actually have the Crypto.com card? I think in Europe it's the Visa card.
Raise your hands. How many users using the Crypto.com card?
Or have heard of the Crypto.com card? Okay, I was expecting more people. Maybe we need to do a good job of marketing. But my point is, what we want to do and what we have done is actually to make DeFi yield automatically transferred to your card, so you don't have to top up. We're live on 3 chains right now. And what we work with the earn protocols on those chains is, once you put your, once you're in any earn pool, every week you can auto-harvest. And the auto-harvest funds will get directly sent to your card. So you don't have to sign transactions, you don't have to go to your centralized exchange app and to put funds in a card. You can just every week, you have pocket money in your card and you can spend it. And this is how we're bringing DeFi yield directly into everyday use. So this is some use, like one use case that we recently launched. We're hoping to see more adoption. I think one hindering point is the new users that we're seeing in this cycle, they are actually not the users that we see in last cycle. I think last cycle users, they actually will spend the time to understand what is DeFi, what are the different protocols, what am I earning. But I think as we attract more and more retail users, I think there's more work that needs to be done on the education side. I think that's what is lacking at the moment, and yeah, it's something that we're trying to solve. Yeah.
Thanks. And we're almost running out of the time. I will give the mic to the audience, but I have my question as a representative from the audience. We all mentioned that basically nobody wants to sit 24/7 to basically do their rebalancing, staking, but I saw, and everyone is talking about the AI assistants that make easier the onboarding process, those who are basically doing the trading. You didn't mention it because of what? Do you think it's something that help us, or it's just already very trendy thing that is not basically help us with this mass adoption? Just my question from the audience.
Yeah, I can take that first. So I didn't mention it, it's because there's something in the works. But yeah, we are developing different AI agents, from angelic actions for the user. And the concept is actually very simple, right? The user has a certain type of asset, but the user doesn't know what chain and kind of what the highest yield are. So we want to help the users find the best yield depending on their risk appetite and what sort of returns they want. So it's something in the works. I haven't mentioned it, I think, just because we don't really have much time and I just want to choose something simple, yeah.
Sorry, I want to add shortly from my side. So I personally am using ChatGPT Codex, so I don't have to deal with people. So I didn't need to even explain what I need, and it works actually very well. And I'm really surprised what will come in 1 or 2 years, what we will see. I think every developer will be empowered to be a creator. So you don't need to study informatics or something. You need to study prompt engineering, I think, very soon.
Yeah, agreed. I don't think, would anyone give their life savings to ChatGPT to manage? Yeah? Oh, wow. Okay. Nice. This is, okay. Because I think security is the most important factor when it comes to automated yield strategies, and I think you want to be careful about safeguards you put in for what the AI can do. I think there's LLMs, as we all know, they still hallucinate. So I think there's definitely automation and some other forms of AI than LLMs that can make sense. And then there are signals that can be surfaced, but then you need to have a framework for what kinds of actions are acceptable for rebalancing. And it's basically security first. But I think over time it will come. The areas that are, for me, I'm most excited about for AI is, of course, engineering. So about 40% of the Kiln code base is AI written today. And then, yeah, education, I think, is the other one where everyone's personal tutor, and I think for bringing people into crypto concepts, that makes a lot of sense.
That's an insane statistic. I don't have our statistic. I only know that one of those agents is our most prolific engineer. We use a few Codex and Devin, and yeah, Devin is the most prolific engineer. But I think to your question, I think that's already happening today. I think just the ability to make DeFi and crypto less scary, and through ChatGPT probably already pulls in a lot of people. And then I think it's absolutely obvious that soon, instead of just asking how does this work, that you also just click a button and let the thing do its thing. So it's 100% obvious. So I guess I'll maybe take the counterpoint to what you're saying.
Anyone else?
Just to make it a bit spicy, at least.
No. Let's take it outside now.
Okay, good. Guys, anyone wants to answer the... yeah.
Answer or ask? I have a question, guys. How do you plan, or how do you plan to bring more Web2 people into DeFi and educate Web2 people about DeFi?
I don't. So I'm targeting centralized exchange users now, and when I'm done, then we will see.
I think a part of our audience is Web2 people at Bitpanda on the broker. So right now it's one of the main discussion internally about how we can educate them or build a nice Web3 product. It has been announced Bitpanda is going to launch a Web3 wallet, and all the reflection is now how we can onboard these more Web2 2.5 audience into a fully Web3 experience. So I think AI, as it has been mentioned, can help. AI is a tool at some point, so it can be used for having a custom gamified experience, for example, where every people is different. So why the reward mechanism should be the same for everybody, for example, for the engagement. We can think about AI as one of the potential solution here. But overall, the onboarding on Web3 right now, it's still kind of painful. If you ask anybody which is not in crypto to download any wallet on the market, he won't have the best experience of his life for the first couple of hours. So that's also one of the things we want to fix on the short term with our product. So I would say overall, education is important, user experience. I think we've focused too much on how to build a good product for the Web3 user we have, but not enough good product for the Web2 people who are not using the product, basically.
We have an onboarding SDK, so we see a bunch of apps like social login and whatnot. Obviously, Rion is the most popular app SDK, and developers can choose to enable this Google social login. It's not an insane amount of users, but yeah, it helps with this onboarding problem for some apps. I know there's some one-inch competitors that have this feature enabled, and even on DEXs, which are DeFi native, we see users actually use this surprisingly. So. Yeah.
I think it's interesting because the two topics are connecting. So we talk about AI, we talk about like getting into DeFi, into Web3 in a decentralized manner. AI means probably more blockchain, probably means more proof of humanity, proof of identity, and the question for people will be how to control this new wave of technology. Otherwise, game over. We just follow the flow and the advice. There are big countries other side of the Atlantic where self-custody is becoming like a right. There's a right for self-custody. What does it mean? What do we do with that? So what do we do with this new era to stay human, to stay empowered? So maybe there will be people that just follow the flow, but there's a very large segment and there's a whole generation of people who will make something for themselves as human from this technology. So that's the rationale and the vision. The other thing we can do is make it beautiful. So we have the chance to have like new devices, like if you see Ledger Stacks, it's a beautiful object. You want that object, and it's your power. It's your power, maybe over a world of AI, a world of full centralization. So we won't finish like Web2. You say, okay, great, it's a P2P, human, social creatures, and boom, your data is with Facebook. That's not the future of crypto, so let's work on it.
Anything to add? Guys, any questions? Because it's the last one. 1, 2, 3, then... Okay, we have one. You got it.
Thank you very much. Since I am myself building a DeFi app, I want to ask about what do you guys think that DeFi app builders are totally not understanding about its users?
What is the app? When you build it, do you understand your users?
I do, but I'd like to hear.
So I have one advice for, and it's pro domo, but I will tell you, apps need to find the proper economics with wallets. So how you incentivize wallets and you reward wallets for the job that they do, because they can sell a little bit of hardware, they can sometimes do a little bit of swap on the side, but it's a huge cost to do a wallet. So if you think that you want to be better than competition, think about your economics and your cost of distribution with wallets. And there's a few wallets here that certainly will agree with me, but that's very important. And second piece, think globalization, localization. There's a lot of markets that are not speaking English, and if you provide something that is really global, you will help people get there. And there is a set of languages that will help you be ahead of the curve.
Yeah, I agree, 100%. I think most of the app shouldn't be B2C targeting, but only B2B. So the main question is about the distribution of your services. It's going to be way more efficient if you manage to be integrated natively in any of the app here than having you building your audience for the next 2 years, for example. My only advice would be to work on your distribution strategy, basically.
Good. Thank you, guys. Big applause to our speakers. Thanks a lot. And yeah, let's keep moving.
Who's driving the